Okay, another type of keyboard that you'll find is called a Swype keyboard. Android 4 and above, I think it is. The standard Android keyboard does this feature, but otherwise you can get a free version of the Swype keyboard, or you can pay the princely sum of $1.99 and buy the Swype type keyboard, which you just simply install. So what the hell is so magic about a Swype keyboard? Well, instead of going tap here and a tap there and a tap somewhere else on a letter to do it, you just simply start on the word. So to start on the word, and you just simply drag your finger across the screen, never lifting it, to the next letter in the word, right? And then from there back to the next letter in the word, right? And you just keep doing this to move it across the text, right? And that will actually type that word as you're doing it. And you think, well, how do I get on if I happen to have a double A in it or something? Well, then you just simply circle the letter A, and that will type A twice. It can't even, R2, I suppose. But anyway, if you want to do that. You'll also notice that this keyboard has other symbols on it too. It has the @ and $ and for and stuff like that. On some keyboards, you actually, instead of tapping on the A, you would flick up on the A, and that would then type the @ symbol. Or if you flicked up on the S, it would type the $ symbol. I personally haven't used that particular keyboard, but again, it's a matter of just getting used to the keyboard to see how it goes. You think, oh, this Swype keyboard, a bit odd. I think you'll find one of the world speed records for typing is actually done using a Swype keyboard. Because they can go very, very quickly with it. Okay, so let's have a look at the camera app. And the camera app, again, this was just with this cheap micro one. And this is the new term in the dictionary these days called a selfie, where you want to take a self-portrait of yourself. All very great. You'll find that you've got a shutter button that you can take. You simply tap that and it takes the photo. You'll find you've got the ability down here to take a video or take photos, right? And you've got the ability there to change settings relating to it. Now, this little a micro one, whilst it would take photos, they're very ordinary, I've got to admit, and it only had one camera on it. Many of the more expensive tablets and smartphones, for that matter, have cameras, both front and back cameras, and you'll find there'll be an extra icon there somewhere, possibly up in the corner, to be able to swap between the front and the back cameras to be able to take a photo. On many of the more expensive ones, you can zoom as well just by pinching. You can zoom in and out on the photo to get it just the way you want. Now you'll see people holding up 10-inch tablets at venues, taking photos with that. My personal opinion is if you're interested in taking photos, go and buy a camera. They do a much better job. You've got a much better lens on it. So you've got those different settings that you can play around with there to take a selfie. And they are quite fun. They do have their uses. My cheap Hawaii phone, $100, you can buy it on eBay, unlocked, and it goes great. It takes a reasonable photo, but the lighting has to be good. So for $100, what can you expect? Okay, the next question is transferring files to and from the PC. Now this is just as messy as any other system for transferring files. If you struggle with Windows Explorer, then you'll probably struggle with this system too. But the first thing, of course, is you connect the USB cable from the tablet to the PC, right? And normally this USB connection screen will automatically open. That's this screen over here, right? It will automatically open. You then do step 3, which is turn on USB storage. So that's that button there. You have to tap on that to turn on USB storage. And that tells Windows that, yes, the Windows can look at the files that are on your tablet. So once you do that, once you click on that Turn on USB Storage, then the tablet will appear in Windows Explorer exactly the same way as a USB stick or an SD card appears in your computer. Right? It just appears there, and away you go, and you can happily transfer files between the two. Right, so you can transfer the files in Windows using Windows Explorer, and as I said, it's exactly the same as any external USB drive. Now the important thing is when you're finished, exactly the same as you should when you are using a USB stick or an SD or certainly a USB stick, you should eject it properly from the computer. In this case, you just go to the Android and you tap Turn Off USB Storage. You'll find that that button there changes once you've clicked it to turn on USB storage, that it changes to turn off USB storage. Right? And in Windows, you should eject the drive or use the safe remove icon. Now, a lot of the times you can happily just pull the cable out and disconnect it, but that's a bit like playing Russian roulette with your files. Sooner or later, you're likely to corrupt things. So do get into the habit of doing things properly and disconnecting stuff correctly. Now, within the Android system, that does have a file manager app, which is the Android equivalent to Windows Explorer, right? So you have a back button to be able to go back exactly the same as you do on your filing system in Windows Explorer. You can see the different folders that are within it, right? Documents and download, and you just simply tap to open a particular folder. You can list all the files on the external SD card if it's listed, right? Or you can, in this case, we're listing all the files and folders on internal memory. Right? You've got other tablets there to simply list all the pictures or list all your movies. And over here we've got the ability to multiple select, delete and copy, and move commands. You'll find that if you have an external SD card installed in your tablet, you've actually got three memory areas. You've got the core memory area of the Android system itself. You have whatever extra user memory they've given you on the Android to do stuff, and then your micro SD card will appear as another device, exactly like you can have multiple hard drives in a computer. So you've got those three distinct areas. Now on some Android systems they will call both the internal storage and the extra micro SD card, they will both be called SD cards. So it can be getting a little confusing when you're doing that. Okay, the settings panel, it is something that you'll get into on the Android system to have a look at, and you do have to get in there, for example, to turn Wi-Fi on or to get yourself connected to Wi-Fi, right? So you would click on that panel there, right? And then over in this panel, right, is all the different things relating to your Wi-Fi, right? So we can see that if you're in aircraft mode, if you want to turn the Wi-Fi off and yet still use the tablet, that's where you would put a tick box. You would just simply tap on that little box to put it into airplane mode. Again, with this contents pane, you just simply scroll up and down to be able to see more connections. On some of them, if you want to get more settings on that, then you have to tap to open this setting, and yet a sub-screen effectively comes up listing all of the stuff that you've got there. Right, and again for that Wi-Fi direct, I don't know what it is over there, you just simply tap on the little box to turn that on or off, right? You've got the go back symbol that will get you back out of there. So if you've gone in too far, you just simply use the little the go back button, and it will take you back. Again, this is a suck it and see operation, and have a go at that. Right, the next thing we'll have is the email screen, and really there's not a huge difference between this and email screens that you're used to. In this case, it's showing a Gmail screen. I've got a special, got a number of Gmail accounts set up for training. This one just happened to be student 11 that I was using when I took the screen dumps of this thing. Right, so that is showing the current email account for this Gmail, and you can tap that for folders and labels, right? So if you tap on inbox, then it will list the inbox and sent box and drafts and all that sort of stuff, and you just tap on it and go to it. In this case, we're looking at inbox, so we've got selection boxes down the side, typical selection boxes that you have in most email programs for selecting stuff. For example, if you want to delete a whole heap or do something with it. We've got the message there that's telling me that there's 9 unread emails in that inbox. If I want to create a new email, and again, you've got to have a look at these little icons and play around with them to work out exactly what those icons do. You can go to the settings menu for the email app, and in that case, that's where you would have the accounts or label settings, or anything else that you wanted to do with it. I think that one's refresh to exactly the same as refresh on any mail app. In other words, go send mail to go and get it, and you can attach labels in this case. Right, so to move up and down through your emails, you just simply do the standard swiping to scroll up and down, or you just simply tap on an email and it will open up so you can see the contents of it. Okay, to create an email, it's the standard thing as to who it's going to be coming from. I've clicked here, I've clicked the create a new email. I have to type in who I'm going to send it to, and in this case with this one, I only had to type the first 2 letters of a contact's name or email address, and it would automatically pop up and you just simply select that particular person that you want to send it to. Or, naturally, you can type in the whole email address if you wish. So, same sort of thing. You can swipe up and down to scroll those figures, so you've got who it's from, who you're going to send it to, and the subject. Right? And then you've got down under there's the contents of where you type in the contents of the email. You've got a various options menu there. And I've clicked the options menu. You can see I've got other facilities, the standard ones like attaching a file or putting in a CC or BCC field if you want to do stuff there. Or you can discard the email altogether. So again, it's a matter of playing around to find it. On some you'll find the buttons, particularly on the phones for sending. You're looking around for a button that says send and you can't find it. You've got to look for an icon. It's like a little arrow of some sort that you can do it that way to actually send your email. One little trick that many people are unaware of with emails, if you're thinking, oh, I don't know how to do this and I don't want to annoy my friends with emails, you can always send an email to yourself. And you know, it's a bit sad that you haven't got better friends, but anyway, you can send an email to yourself, and so you can see exactly how the system works. So that's a great way of playing. Or in this case, Gmail, there's no problem creating extra Gmail addresses, and yeah, you can, that way you can send to that. So it's a great way of playing to find out exactly how the email system is going to go.